you don't only just want to be the hot new thing.
Yeah.
You want to find out how your hot new thing can empower what that person is doing
Mm-hmm.
or what they're about to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's just what it boils down to.
And we're back with another episode of FYM with Ty and Yo.
Yeah.
If it's your first time viewer, I'm Yo. This is my man Ty. And we are going to have an ignorant conversation about wellness. That is what FYM is. Now, what our conversations tend to be based around is like inspiration.
Yep.
I think Ty sometimes just get like a beam of light, hits him, and he's like, yo, we're gonna talk about this today. And we had some downtime, we were talking, and Ty was like, oh, I'm ready to go. Cause you had a theme in mind. And will you introduce this topic and kind of what inspired it for you?
Yeah. So we built the business independently. But one of the things that's never really spoken about, and maybe we'll do a better job with the Culture Playbook Volume 2, is that I leveraged a lot of the older advice that I got from the OGs.
Mm-hmm.
I leveraged their time in the relationships that they have. What I mean by that is, let's say one of the OGs is like, yo, I love what y'all doing. Like, let's put a record out. I'm like, okay, bet. Not only do they put that record out, when they put that record out, not only do I have all of their insight from their experiences, I also inherit their years in the business.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, I inherit that.
Mm-hmm.
So if they started working with somebody in 1999 in the mailroom at CAA, now that person is the head of TV and film for Universal Films, and I want to get a song over to them, I can use my mentors' time in to get access to my new product or my new service because I'm the hot, new, fresh thing. And when you're the hot, new, fresh thing, and you can put experience and time on top of it, then you get hotter.
Experience and time.
Experience and time,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because people, it's to get experience, you need time, but there's a historical part of time, and then there's like training time, right? I'm more so talking about the historical side of time.
Mm-hmm.
So a person is experienced, like we talked about this example where I go in business with somebody that's been in the music business for 30 years. And they're super excited what I bring to the table because I'm a new, fresh, hot thing. Now, I want to get something done that don't necessarily falls in the scope of the my older business partner's scope, but they have a relationship because their sister is married to the person that I actually need to talk to, and they've been married for 25 years.
Yep.
Right? So although my mentor or my business partner does not do business with his sister's husband, he still have that access through historical time.
Yep.
To say, hey, such and such, I got this new client. Everybody loves him. He's the hottest in the business. And they want to get to DraftKings.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you work for DraftKings and you have influence over there. Can you come talk to my guys, or can I put a meeting together so y'all can meet so that, maybe there's some synergy there?
Right.
He asked the question like, oh, so what is it? He's like, oh, well, it's these kids that are hot. But one of the artists, they have a YouTube page where they pick games. Like they bet. They pick games. It's like their side hustle. But that YouTube page is huge, and that's how they've helped leverage grow their business. Oh, okay. Let me go to the YouTube page.
Pull it up.
Oh,
Right.
this is incredible. Oh, the viewership is everything is there. Hold on. Boop. Oh, DraftKings. Oh, boop, sponsorship. Oh, now your page is presented by DraftKings.
Yep.
You would have never gotten that. You'd have had to do the long route.
Yes. Or he would have never just found you.
No, that ain't even technically his job, but
Exactly.
just the connectivity of it. What the younger generation do today is that if they learn something from somebody, instead of staying in the relationship and building a relationship so they can utilize all that's available,
Right.
they're like, okay, I'm gonna go do it myself now. See, I never really was to do it myself now, nigga, without having that backup.
Mhm.
Every time that I went to when Brent was like, "Yo, I want to sign with a record label." Every time I went to one of those record label meetings,
Mhm.
I took one of the OGs with me, and I would tell them, "If I do this record deal, you gotta do this deal with me, because you know you got the time in to know what the fuck I should be watching out for."
Mhm.
Literally. If Imma do this shit, you gotta do this with me
Yeah.
because you're gonna be the one that keeps me sane when they doing some stupid shit and I wanna go off.
Mhm. And I
And
got someone to refer to.
I've always had someone to refer to. I've never tried to get the information and just do it myself without having somebody that was benefiting somehow, some shape off of everything I was doing.
Mhm.
Literally. They didn't do the strategy, they didn't do the work, they didn't put up the money, but they was always there, and I exchanged time and
Experience
experience with a royalty.
with the royalty. Yep.
With a royalty, "Yeah, I got 5% for this if you could just help me, boom, boom. I got this for this if you could just help me, boom, boom."
Mhm.
That was a big thing with our radio journey. Our radio journey was like that. I got the time and the experience by cutting a deal where a radio team had a royalty in all the records that we worked on radio. And some of the records we didn't even get to work on radio because it just started moving fast, and we didn't work the record because another record was doing better.
Right.
But in that experience, I was able to take that uh, wisdom, uh, experience, and the historical time,
Mhm.
and I benefited in so many different ways
Mhm.
in multiple industries outside of radio.
Now, what was different about your time though, as far as like you said, the younger generation kinda lost that sense of, "Let me make sure I have a a reference. I
Mm.
don't need to just be out here running trying to do it myself." Is that something that you kinda knew inherently as like a practice? Like, "I wanna practice."
Oh, I read it.
What you read it at?
The fucking the operator, David Geffen, the operator. David Geffen always was in business with people that he could pull from
Mhm.
and build the relationships. Like, I mean, honestly, it's like common sense.
I mean, kinda, but the way you put it though, I think I've seen what you're saying though, as far as like
Yeah, this shit a real thing.
you remember you said something downstairs about like, "Man, niggas just Google it." But, like, Google don't talk to you.
No, Google don't talk to you.
Google don't converse with you. Google does not it doesn't mentor you. It might give you some information, but there's no mentorship there. You're saying, like
Man, I'm gonna tell you like this. I invested into this thing. The investment is gonna pay off. I invested into this tech startup stuff, multiple tech startup stuff. But the only reason that I'm in tech startup is because I was distributing my music on Venice.
mhm,
And I don't know how many times this story is gonna pop up. A few people ask me, "So what has Venice done for you? Like, what are they doing?" I'm like, that question depends on where you wanna be at." I wanted to diversify. I saw a black man that owned a distribution company
mhm,
who needed help building the new distribution company. I had some songs that had some value in the market. I was like, "Yo, I'll give you these." And in exchange for that, I was able to ask questions about tech, be able to be involved in investments because of songs. The company that's gonna probably blow up out of all of these, they don't make music.
mhm,
I don't know how to to me, that is common sense. Because I'm thinking about a community, right? So if I'm working in music and I'm talking to, this literally just happened today. I'm talking to a producer that wants to be in business and they really think that what we're doing is cool. And they're like, yo, I have, like, my uncle is business partner with Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood. Mhm.
So maybe I can pull a lot of information from them that has nothing to do with what she actually do for work. The skill set that she's bringing, what she just told me, that has nothing to do with it.
Right.
Nothing to do with it. So for me, I walk around the world and I see, oh, similar to what I told you about the wellness hotel.
Yeah.
I see a wellness and he's like, I need help. I find out, okay, this is what you need help on. Let me help you with that.
Mhm.
Because in actuality, I need more support around the wellness shit.
Yeah.
That's just what it boils down to. So for me, when you got the young homies coming up and everybody want to be independent or whatever the case might be, like, I sat with No I.D after we got back from Dominican Republic recording Brent's first album, and we all sat and listened to 444.
Yeah.
In Dominican Republic while eating fucking Dominican food and all the studio shit set up, and we was just like, oh shit. Everybody thought it was gonna be a old Jay-Z nigga album, and that
Yeah.
shit was hard. When I got back, I went and sat with No I.D and I asked him a lot of questions about that album. Hey, well, wait, why you do this? And the reason No I.D wanted to meet with me was he had already had one meeting with me about trying to sign Brent. So his first conversation was, all right, I'm gonna go about this differently this time.
That's
That
what
was
he
his
said?
first
That's the
line
first
to
thing
me.
he said to you?
Is I'm gonna go about this differently this time. What can we do together? So I just started asking him about this fucking Jay-Z album they just did. Why you do this? Why you do that? And what ended up happening is we end up doing, a few things together,
Yeah.
right? But the moment that happened, I can call Dion today and probably get something that somebody else can't get
Mhm.
because not of his wisdom, not because, we did a few things together. It's because I was able to get in his time,
Yeah.
right? The historical value, whatever relationship that he has, if he has it, he can connect the dots for me, with me,
Mhm.
right? And so all of these different moving pieces is like a real thing. And I don't understand why people don't get it, if we be honest.
Why people don't get it. Well, I'm trying to use what you just explained to me. So you didn't know No I.D beforehand?
No,
Didn't meet him before?
no,
No one introduced you guys?
no.
Right.
Oh, the way I met No I.D was through Sonder.
Sonder,
'Cause he
right.
was trying to do something with Sonder. That's
Mhm.
how I met him, through Deep Pattern 2.
But did you know who he was?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I definitely know who No I.D was before I met him.
You know, sometimes
Sometimes
some
people,
people don't
right,
know,
you're
and
right.
I think that was my next point. Sometimes people don't know who you are.
Right,
They might not understand, like, who No I.D is. I know who No I.D is.
right.
If No I.D called my phone, I would be like, okay. Not only am I gonna be respectful in a certain kind of way, but I love the way where you had that second chance to talk with him,
Mhm,
and he let you know we're gonna do this differently. You took the opportunity to be like, well, let me ask questions that I have for this person.
uh-huh.
Our relationship was built off that. What if you would've, instead of asking questions, would've started making demands?
I don't know, it probably would've rubbed it wrong. One thing I learned about OGs is that if they really in it to help you
Mhm.
and you start asking questions, they lean in.
Yeah.
'Cause they're like, yo, this, like, they leaning in.
Yeah.
Some of the things that, like, Raphael Saadiq, all these niggas, when they used to hear Brent, they was like, oh, not like he's a savior or anything, but it was like, this nigga doing R&B.
Yeah.
This the shit I like. I wanna fuck with this.
Mhm.
And it made them feel a sense of relief that the younger generation at least had a few outlets that they could participate in.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so me knowing that type of, me seeing it, I'm like, oh, even with Brent seeing it. So the relationships that I've built and got into business with, I'm able to activate them a lot differently because I've always been like, I want to get the experience,
Yeah.
I want to get the historical value,
Yeah.
and I want to put some paper in the pocket.
Uh-huh.
But that's just me. Like I read all these niggas' books. Like I'm reading, I'm collecting Forbes books, I'm collecting Billboard books. I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, you don't only just want to be the hot new thing.
Yeah.
You want to find out how your hot new thing can empower what that person is doing
Mm-hmm.
or what they're about to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's just what it boils down to.
But it sounds like you already respect history, though. You're doing
Yeah.
research. You know what I'm saying? You know how
Yeah.
much respect you got to have for history to pick up a magazine and read it and comprehend it. You knew exactly where you pulled from that book. Like the operator, like you remembered it because it was engraved in a part of your brain
Yeah.
because you were doing the research. I do worry that history is not that important to kids today.
Yeah, and those are gonna be the ones that are here and gone.
Mhm.
There's 126,000 new songs a day, man. Just like there's a hot athlete get drafted every year.
Mhm.
People always be like, "Oh, that's sad." No, it ain't sad. Motherfuckers, these niggas come and they go. It's music. We're making music. This is not cancer curing fucking shit. We're making music.
Mhm.
So if you are doing something and you're putting your all into it, you're betting, you're making risks, you're taking chances, and you haven't said, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna study this. I'm gonna study the history of this. I'm gonna study how this goes. That's your fault if you get fucked. That's your fault if you don't get to the next level. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Brent didn't get to where he got just because I was just smart.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't get the level of management because I was just smart.
Mhm.
He got the level of partnership because I had been studying business
Yeah.
since 2002
Mhm.
when I had a mentor that had more of a real estate business. I had been doing management, service, and some dynamics since 2008. Bumping my head, figuring it out, getting taken advantage of, not getting paid, getting bullied, getting laughed at. Then I read, like, not just self-help books. I read L.A. Reid book. I read Steve Stout's book. I read Russell Simmons' book. I read the David Giffin's book.
Yeah.
I read contracts. I read Billboard magazines. I read stories about everybody. I literally would study. Now I'm studying. I started learning and figuring out management in 2008. I started realizing and figuring out business on a bigger level in 2002, and then I'm working my ass off.
Mhm.
So, like, the time I have all of that before I meet any of these niggas. So then when I meet them, I'm like, "Yo, so you got the Spotify distribute? Oh, you got the distribution shit? Oh, well, hold on, here go 10 songs. We start with 2, do good, those 2." But these were all when people were starting their new businesses. See,
Right.
the thing that I figured out very, very early, I did it with STEM, I did it with Platoon, I did it with Human Resource, I did it with Venice. Uh, I, I can't say I did it with United Master because United Master was very, very early on.
Yeah.
But Gamma was another one that we probably would have did it with it if the recruiting and the courting process was better. I betted on their new companies when it was early. I didn't say, "Oh, whatever, you know, blah, blah, blah." No. "Oh, you got a new record? Oh, you got a new company. So your company is new. Now you just became a new baby." You got all this wisdom. You were successful at this company, successful at that
And
company.
now you take
But now you got a new baby, though.
Mhm.
It don't matter how successful you was before. This is a new business. So instead of me being like, man, that business is new, man, I'm gonna go and get with it. Nah, I'm gonna be right here. With one of the distribution companies, Platoon, I was giving them records right when Apple was about to acquire them. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So for me, I've always known, oh, wait a minute, hold on. So if I got this done, all of these different pieces of me that
Mhm.
I've been working on since 2002. I met Brent 2014.
Wow.
It's 12 years of me like molding and figuring different things out, learning, reading all these different things. So when I get an artist that's just blindly trusting me, I'm like, oh, now we're gonna do it like this, we're gonna do it like that. Now we're gonna figure this out right here. Oh, snap. Every step along the way, I had a wise OG that I could call and be like, yo, I don't like how this felt. I want to go left on this motherfucker. Like, what should I do? And they would give me the best advice from their perspective. And if it was something I'm like, yo, I'm trying to figure this out. Can you help me? I never called them if I wasn't willing to return the favor. Never called anybody if I wasn't return. And also, when I say return the favor, I don't know what the fuck that favor gonna be.
How it's gonna come back.
But I know if I'm calling, I gotta be willing to return that favor. So when I talk about, yo, time in
Yeah.
with relationships, it's a certain level of studying you gotta do. You gotta know what you're pulling from the OGs that, cause they're gonna always, I'm gonna be one. After a while, I'm gonna be 45, 50 years old.
Yeah.
I might not be in the music business the way that I am today, but I still would be in the entertainment business, and those relationships are still those relationships.
And you might have a new business. You might
It
have a new
might be a new
baby.
business. I might
And
have
it's
a new baby.
and it's like the same mentality
Yeah.
that someone's like, oh, Ty's starting something new. Let me go ride with him because I know. I like, first off, let's talk about just like walking in history to grow.
Right.
Cause that's what it sounded like. It was like all the studying you did before you got to bring. Cause to your point, some people might just think, oh, you smart. But they won't understand where they,
I am smart.
no, I'm not saying you're not. But sometimes it's just like, it's so interesting you put it that way because people might not understand the experience, time in, all the things that got you. It's like you didn't wake up knowing what you know,
Mm-mm.
that there was time put in to acquire that intelligence.
Mhm.
But did you feel ready in 2014 for someone to trust you blindly?
No?
No.
Hell no. I just hope that they would trust me blindly because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing all the way.
All the way, right?
Right? If they had too many questions, it would have been done. You know what I'm saying?
But
But I needed a little little greenie
yeah.
to kind of like get around until I was like figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? That was just the overall thought process of it. So yeah, no.
But you still had people you could refer to. There was questions.
1000%.
But that's the
Yeah.
best part. It's not
Yeah.
like, man, there was a lot of questions. I had no one to ask.
No, I always have somebody
Then,
to ask.
but that's
No.
time in. Like
Yeah.
that's history.
Always.
That's
But the reason why I always had someone to ask because I always respected the history.
mhm.
I never felt like I'm too good now, or I'm too hot now. Now I got this buzz. I don't need your advice. I don't need your help. Nah, I
Mhm.
always found ways to incorporate it.
Someone I'm always gonna appreciate is Elliot Wilson.
Mhm.
Because he was like the first, I would say, this wasn't like no on the record interview. He was just in Atlanta 2020. He was like, oh, come hang out with me. And I sat down with him and we hung out for maybe like 2 hours. And he introduced me to Meezy. I hadn't met Meezy before,
Mhm.
but we were sitting down, Meezy 21 Savage Manager comes in and he leaves us. He was like, why I'm introducing you to niggas in your city? And I was like, I've met him before, but it was just cool because in my mind, I was like, well, you, like, I'm not you. I'm not 25 years in. I
Right.
didn't work at Double XL. I didn't, because he telling me stories about the 90s magazine sales, like stuff where I was a kid.
Yeah.
And you telling me that, but when he said that to me, it was kind of funny in retrospect to be like, well, like I'm glad you are in a position where you still know people. You in Atlanta meeting 21 Savage manager and you 30 years in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? People still want to meet with you. People still want to talk with you. People still want to like know what Elliott Wilson thinks.
Right.
I want to know what he thought. That's why I pulled up. I had to know someone that I look at from Atlanta, Georgia to New York City that was in the trenches of the journalism age for hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
And just being able to soak up his information for that day. And it never happened again because I don't think he was ever back in Atlanta. It was like it felt like a one-on-one. It felt like, well, I felt like I was in a dream. The fact that like I even had him in my face, but it wasn't like, this wasn't for no story. This wasn't for none of that. So when I hear you talk, I thought back to that and just being like, how much I took from just that day,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But one thing that I just did not understand is like, well, how do you build a mentorship relationship with somebody like that? Like you got access, but like, how do you make it where I want to build with you. Like I want to know how we can continue to grow together, this relationship.
I just ask.
Mm-hmm. Just put the question out there.
I just ask.
Yeah.
The motherfucker say no, then he say no.
Yeah.
I just ask. You know what I'm saying? All right. But see, the thing about it is, I'm always thinking about, it's easy when you identify that you want somebody to potentially be your mentor. And then you're like, you feel like they've identified something that they like in you, it's easier to just ask.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just randomly like, you know what I'm saying?
Hit
Hey
niggas
man,
up.
hit niggas in that DM. I'm really looking for a mentor. Niggas ain't looking for you.
No, I experienced that. 2011, 2010. Remember A3C in
Yep.
Atlanta?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to figure out how to work for Mass Appeal.
Okay.
And they did a stage. So I show up to the Mass Appeal stage. I was like, yo, does anyone here work for Mass Appeal? I'm just looking for any lead. No one was there for Mass Appeal. So that day I started to like go to shows and like ask people like, hey, like anybody know a journalist here that could help me learn more about journalism? I remember I met this one guy and I was like, hey man, like I really want to be in the journalism business. He kind of looked at me tired. He was just like, hey man, you just got to get out the mud. Like he was like, hey man, you just got to get out, you live, kid. And I was just like, dang, bro. I was like, no, I could not find a mentor. I just could not find. But like the thing was, I just felt like in Atlanta, because we didn't have no magazine offices. We didn't have nothing like that. But I ended up meeting a guy named John Jones, who had an online magazine called the Peach Review.
Okay.
And I met him at Magnetic Music Fest. And I was with my boy, and he saw us just running around. He was like, you guys look like you just running around hustling. What y'all doing? I was like, trying to make some money. And he was like, well, I'm not really paying writers. And I was like, nice meeting you. Like a year later, me and the same guy was out running around trying to get to the shit, and he sees us. He was like, you're the guys that was at the fest. He was like, I still can't pay you, but I can get you into any concert that you want. I just need you to write the review and take pictures. Mac Miller was coming to town. I said, can you give me a Mac Miller? He was like, yeah, no problem. It's like, all right. Yo, a week later, I'm watching Mac Miller, Vince Staples, Earl Sweatshirt on stage. I write the review. We probably worked with John for a whole year after that. Just like he would have a show, we would go, we would review it. And that was the first time I felt like I met somebody that was like giving me a chance. I wasn't making money. Like I didn't make any money.
I ain't made no money off of
it. But it was just like I got a chance to get the experience. And by the time I met Nathan Slavik from DJ Booth, I had been working with John for a year upstream with Nathan. Because he was still doing the Peach Review, but they had more writers. I pretty much told him like, hey, John, I'm trying to go further. He was like, yeah, man, go crazy. Do your thing. He called me after Little Brother came out, and because we had a person in the doc knew his wife. He had just got married, and they were watching the doc, and she was like, how'd they get her in there? And he was like, "I'm just so proud of you, man. Like, I saw you go from running around with nothing to now you got a documentary, got all these people in it." But that was now we known each other 10 years at this point.
Oh.
So I just remember I always say, like, "Yo, John, when I first met you, you didn't have no money, man." Like, I wasn't trying to like, "Oh, this is my chance." I was like, "No, I'm looking for some paper." But my boy was like, "Yo, I think we should fuck with him." And at that time, my boy wasn't into photography. John gave him his first shoots. Now he
Mhm.
has a real estate photography business. So, like, bro, you just never know the person that's gonna give you a chance. And it might be we talked about transactional relationships before, but I think, like, at that time, I was 21.
Mhm.
No. I was 22, trying to get it out the mud and feeling like no one was giving me a shot. But then also I was like, man, I'm trying to make some money at the same time and trying to do both those
The
things at once.
crossroads. The
I'm like,
crossroads.
I almost missed a really important person
Mhm.
on my journey because I was
Got
fixated.
money on your
I was
mind.
fixated. I was,
Got my money in your
you try,
mind.
man. I was working at a gas station. I was working at Olive Garden. I'm just
Mhm.
trying to get out of what I was doing. And sometimes I think that's what is so jading to young people. You're just trying to get out of your situation. You're trying to get out of your circumstances. You are missing out on the long game. Like, you only 21, you 18,
Mhm.
you 15. Like, you don't
Right.
know how long your life is gonna be.
Right.
So the rush to get out of something, you might really run past the person
Right.
that's gonna help you the most. But to your point about mentorship, I think, yeah, like once someone has identified that, like, hey, there's something here, ask the question.
Mhm.
Just ask the question.
Literally can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
Mm-mm.
I feel you. I feel you. But that's why I say I just think when I think about being young, that's like the first thing I remember is you start to build your concept of what you want to do with your life.
Mhm.
And then it just feels like the next thing is like, how do I make money doing this?
Right.
But there's sometimes like I don't know if I thought about how do I build relationships in this? And I think you told me the story about how you met Callie Sway,
Yeah.
and that was one of the things that she said to you that she wanted to build
Yep.
genuine
Wanted to
relationships
meet genuine people.
in the music business,
Mhm.
and how that caught your attention.
Yep.
She didn't tell you, "I'm trying to make $1 billion." She didn't say, "I'm trying
Listen
to,"
to my demo.
you know what I'm saying? It's like, "I wanna build genuine relationships," and then you guys still have, to this day, a genuine relationship.
Mhm.
So it's just like the intention there.
Oh yeah, 1000%. You know, it's so important that these type of conversations are had for younger artists to look at it. Young artists, young executives, young managers, young producer, whoever the fuck it is that's
Yeah.
young that did not come up in the golden years of the music business. Even though I
Uh,
think that there's multiple golden years of the music business, but
100%.
to learn the business in a way that is going to help you grow independently, you have to tap in with that wisdom. And the more you're willing to partner with that wisdom, the more you can pull out of it. The deeper you go into those relationships,
Mhm,
the more you can pull out for yourself and reimagine some of these ideas and expressions and things of that nature. And I think that that's why it's so important for this type of conversation
mhm,
because you got so many guys and women that's just like more so men that well, you can give them information and they will think they're too smart for their own good and try to go do it themselves. And they could be successful doing it. But like when you hit a roadblock, what do?
who you call?
Like when you're so successful, now all the money is coming in. What do?
Mhm,
Who do you call? You gotta have somebody to call when you're not successful, when you're on your way to success, and when that shit is like hot
outta
as
here.
a firecracker.
Yeah,
Who you gonna call? That you can tap in with them, break bread with them, and you won't get taken advantage of. And you won't regret it down the road. I don't think young up and coming artists and producers and managers think about that.
thing like that.
Because like you said, do they care about history? It's a 50-50.
Yeah.
It's a 50-50. They
History is
might
who
like
making
old
money.
songs, right? You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? The history of their favorite artists, but are managers thinking about the OGs and being able to call and tap in and get information.
And I hate to put it this way, but we are watching a lot of people pass away
Yeah.
at like 50 years old,
Yeah.
which is to me still relatively very young.
Yeah.
So
Younger than that, actually. People
yeah,
pass away younger than that.
40s, 30s. But I'm just saying, like, think about people who have been like established, but also like you don't know how long people are gonna be here.
No, you
And
don't.
then when they're gone, that time in, there's no access to it anymore. As the people that was blessed to be in that company, it still is, but like there's just some people you will never get a chance to talk to again. You'll never have a chance to ask questions because they're no longer here. And you gotta be cognizant of that and respectful of that. You have to respect time, I think, is the underlying point of this conversation in a lot of ways. Is like respect the time in, respect the people who kind of like walking on the shoulders of giants.
Yep.
Is a lot of just knowing your history.
Gotta know the history, man. So I think this episode is more of a history lesson episode.
Yeah.
It's like an episode to be like, yo, if you're hot, your hot run will be longer if you build with experience and historical value.
Yeah.
Know how to leverage that. That doesn't mean let somebody take advantage of you.
No.
That doesn't mean to let, an OG tell you what to do down a path that doesn't benefit you and your artist. Learn the game, learn the business, learn how you can add value to something that they're doing so that you can grow and they can grow as well. But don't not respect the history of time and the wisdom and experience that come with it.
And do your research.
Gotta do your
Because that's
research.
another point too, is like,
Gotta do
although a
research.
person might have, you might have access to someone that has like the best intentions, sometimes you won't be able to even know what to ask them without having some sense of understanding about where you are, what you're doing, how you're trying to go, where you're trying to go. So don't just allow yourself to be a follower. Like you
Please
gotta
don't.
lead yourself through
Research, background checks.
Come on.
Educate yourself. And it's simple as that. And it ain't that hard to find motherfuckers that really like that. If they like that for real, you gonna know the history gonna speak for itself, the work gonna speak for itself. When you tell a person you in business with them, that speaks for itself.
Yep.
But yeah.
And it's good for your wellness. So this is
Financial
FYM.
wellness, definitely good for
You know what I'm
financial
saying?
wellness.
I think even for like spiritual, personal wellness as well.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of growth there too. But
mental,
cannot
education.
forget the financial wellness side of things.
Don't forget the money.
So this was another episode of FYM with Ty and Yo. We hope that you as a viewer got something out of this conversation. Please like, comment, subscribe. Leave a comment about history and how important it has been for your journey or the kind of things you want to learn on your path. Any questions? Leave them in the comments, man. We here. Season 3.
We out.